Welcome to the episode of Grade Pending. I'm your host, as always, Paulie the Bull, no relation to Gavano. This is the show where, of course, we grade movies, shows, and things that we watch. And we have our own little grading system here on it. Awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got Dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got Meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash. I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it. All right. We just didn't want to do this typical grading system like everybody else does. So today, I'm going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, aka now Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but more on that later. But to start off, we're gonna get the one-on-one grades, and then we're gonna all come back to the group like we always do. So let's start it off.
I'm gonna give it a dope off the bat. A couple reasons for that. Last episode, I think there was a lot going on in that last episode. I think they rushed through it. Granted, I get it. COVID did impact them recording and filming and stuff, but it was just way too much going on in that one episode for it to be, I think, one of the shortest episodes of the season. Episode 5, completely amazing. Great character development, great build there. I think we got to see the chemistry between Bucky and Sam taken to that high nuance level where we didn't get to see it in Captain America movies. We just got teased with it here and there. All around dope for me. The villain, the big bag, John Walker, great villain, anti-hero-ish kind of person we had. I would love to have seen Kylie's role expanded even more. I think if it had been eight episodes, maybe we got to see a little more of her. But all around for me, straight up dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an awesome. I didn't expect it to be that good for me, but I did like the action choreography throughout the entire season, 6 episodes. I did love the character development, even them bringing up Isaiah Bradley. I'm surprised. Disney shocked me when they were bringing the racist game into the whole aspect of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I like just how they it was saddening how they even treated Isaiah Bradley throughout the years. And it was just like, damn, they really don't want a black man to be Captain America. And sure enough, at the end, they had no choice but to accept the black man being a new Captain America. And I loved every minute of that. White people was like clutching their pearls. It's like, damn, you Cap now? Okay, I'm with it. I love Winter Soldier's character development from no longer being the Winter Soldier to just being regular Bucky. And that was hard for him. His transition through over 77 years or 170 years or whatever, however old he is actually. And the bad guys, the villains, they were okay. It was a mess to me on that part, but you know what? It was good just all around. And I liked it all, man. And I will agree with Lou on that part about, the episode 6 was a very short episode, and I get why it was the way it was, but I'm not mad at it. The only thing I'm really disappointed in is they really did not arrest that white man, John Walker. Kill somebody in the middle of God knows where, and y'all telling me, so the white man do it, he get a pass? But when Isaiah Bradley was out here trying to save people, now we just gonna arrest him. Now I had a problem with that. But it's all right, I'm not here to judge. It's a TV show, it was very great, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. All in all, it was awesome. I really did love it though. But yeah, that's enough with me.
I'm off the rip. I'm gonna give it an awesome. I enjoyed all 6 episodes front to the end. I love the dynamic of Sam and Bucky, and just seeing how their lives continued on after everything that they've gone through with, losing family, losing time. How seeing what life, because with WandaVision we saw what her life was after Thanos. This we got to see what the world had to go through after this. and how, you know, the government is trying to like repopulate people, and like they have their side of things, you know, where they're trying to figure out, well, how do we put people back into their houses and so forth. And you know, you've seen what's right and what's wrong with the world. Um, I I don't consider John the big bad of it. Carly still is, you know, she's a hero in one right, but she's also the show's villain for the most part. Um, and that's just based upon how everything started out. I guess that's the best way to try to say it. But um, you know, she went around, you know, looking like a terrorist, you know, trying to take over stuff, and she had her own reasons, and they were valid and or noble reasons, because even Sam had to agree with her on certain things. And you know, like I loved how he had that conversation in episode 6 with those head honchos in the GRC. The GRC. So you know, it's shout out to Sam, and you know, for trying to make a change, and you know, going through his transition of Falcon to Captain America. You know, how he had to do that whole switch up, you know, on people was dope. Because he just assumed the role. He wasn't going to go through government channels again, because you saw how that happened. So he just assumed the mantle, and I guess they're gonna roll with it. Sharon's role going into, you know, being the power broker, you know, I want to see how that goes as further movies go on, as well as Madam Hydra. So it's giving setup, like it did rush through, but it's giving setup to stories down the line. So it's good to see how they are going to continue the Captain America thing. Um, and it touched on a lot of history, racism, um, getting over certain hurdles, and I think it hit home with that. Sam that had the most powerful scenes in this whole show. So awesome.
Hi. So I thought the show was phenomenal. It was definitely, I would give it an awesome. It got a tear. Marvel got a tear out of me on the last episode, where Falcon showed Isaiah the statue in the museum, and I was just like, oh, I was like, damn, like I felt that. The whole how they made it so real, like they made it where it's relatable with like the race card and authority and like all this other stuff. So just the storyline was great overall. Obviously the White Wolf was my favorite character, I should say, but overall, like to me, like Bucky just going through his list, his book, and just doing everything, like overall, like I underestimated this series just because I was so in love with WandaVision. I didn't think it was gonna live up to par, but they fucking knocked it out the ballpark with it. So it was definitely great.
Funny you mentioned WandaVision and the comparison. WandaVision showed us a lot of hexagons, and this show had a lot of parallels, not parallelograms, but parallels between previous Marvel movies and other and historical events. And I like the way they paralleled, and this was kind of the origin of Sam becoming Captain America, and it gave you a reason instead of just just being handed the shield. And it's like, all right, you got it now. It was like he had to earn it, and kind of got him to that spot. The last episode kind of had me wavering a little bit. I was borderline dope, borderline awesome. I felt like Sam's speech in the street was kind of like a little too long. But it was hitting a lot of points, but it was like it was a weird place when there's action going on, and it was like a little too long. But the moment that made me stick to it being an awesome overall for the series was when he took Isaiah to the Smithsonian, and kind of brought it all in. And I got a little choked up, got a little emotional, so once you took it to heartstrings, it's like, all right, you got me. But the biggest flaw of the series was the Flag Smashers. And from what I heard, there was they had a different plot for the characters that they had to change up real quick last year because of COVID and stuff. So it was kind of noticeable that there was adjustments made, and unfortunately, it was kind of a flaw to the show. But I still think they recovered. They hit a lot of things. Touched on a lot of real life events and MCU events and things. And I think it was just a lot of characters that they had to, manage. So it wasn't a perfect series, but I feel like every scene, every episode was important. Nothing was wasted. And for that, I think Marvel got 2 out of 2 now. And I say it's another awesome. So I'm giving it awesome as well still. So.
Not for nothing though, like I feel like I kind of caught myself hating Carly's character a little too much.
How?
I did not. She didn't. I don't think she did enough to be hated or loved.
Right.
Like I said, the Flag Smasher to me was like the biggest flaw. I hated, the U.S. agent dude more than anything, but I think they kind of fumbled the ball on him too at the end because I didn't like the way he just, you're a U.S. agent. And it was like, she gave him the same suit, but it was black. Like I think they could have transitioned him a little better. They just kind of threw it in.
They definitely could have.
You're a U.S. agent now.
Yeah, the U.S. agent.
Like,
it could have been better. It could have been better at the end for him because they just show him lying to his partner's parents. Mm-hmm. You basically literally got away with murder on every scale.
Well, he didn't get away with it. They took away all his medals, his pension. Like he has nothing now. He's not everything he did. All those medals of honor.
Would have gotten locked up if it was a real life scenario, but
I mean,
or would it be?
Sense, he was,
but would he
was chasing terrorists down,
right?
So that's no different from us bombing terrorists,
right? So he was on the job.
Well, remember when Wanda got caught in that issue with trying to cover the bomb. Remember they wanted to lock her up,
right? So he would have
when she went overseas.
More repercussions.
Right, but that was killing innocents.
Right.
She killed innocents.
Well,
this guy was a terrorist.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Right. Wanda killed the innocent people in Sokovia. He was actually killing someone that was a terrorist. It was the Flag Smashers. So the problem was not that he did it. It was that the world saw him do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't record when we drop bombs on Syria and other places. We don't have a GoPro on the top of the missile, and drop the bomb. So the fact
the flag smashers, like I didn't know they did a gender swap and it was supposed to be one person, not a group.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't mind that. It was
just it was one individual. Like you said, I think they changed. I don't know what change they made, but if that's the one that they did do, like put them into a group of flag smashers.
No,
I mean, it's not the greatest villains they could have got.
It was a virus storyline that they were going with that was too close to COVID, so they had to change it up because I think it was the first and second episode they stole vaccines. And they kind of never explained what they were stealing vaccines for because they had to redo the middle scenes and change the plot up. So, and it's noticeable that they really had no point, and it's a noticeable flaw in the whole storyline. The Flag Smashers really had what were they doing? Why were they doing it? What was going on? And they never kind of gave them a reason. So, as far as villain or antagonist goes, they were bad. It was her story was bad. And I think they fumbled John Walker too. John was hated, and then they kind of made you try to like him again in the last episode. It was like, why? Why are they side by side with Bucky and them, and then it's all good. It's like, nah.
He needed to stop and relax. He kept constantly introducing himself as Captain America. I'm like, boy, relax.
Yo, shout out to John Walker though for making that tinfoil shield.
Oh man,
and bringing it to a fight, bringing it to a super soldier fight. I'm like, that's right, man. You still try to fight with that.
Yeah,
it broke like butter.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of those things, like his arrogance was just so, like his cockiness, like it was just so like very white privilege, and I'm just like, boy, shut the fuck up. Yo. Like it was just so irritating. But with Carly, I don't know what it like. I caught myself like literally like screaming. No, it is real. And I caught myself like when they were trying to fight her, and I'm like, kill the bitch, fuck the bitch up.
Well,
I just,
that was it.
I don't
That
know
was
why.
extremely violent. I don't know why you went that far. But remember,
But they killed the
all
bitch, so I'm
she
okay with
want,
it.
yo, how would you feel if you came back 5 years later from the dead and they gave
Here
up
we
your
go.
apartment, your job, and your savings? You
I will
got nowhere
fuck
to
a bitch
live.
up that was in my apartment. Say, get the fuck out. This is my house.
Well, how you gonna do that if you don't have the super soldier serum? You get your ass whooped. So take the serum from the power broker and start doing what you gotta do to get your apartment back. And let's say if you
And
did
I
live in the
would.
apartment, would you live in the house?
See,
Speaking of the power
And
broker, how
remember,
y'all
she
feel
ain't white. She was
Are you
like,
trying to say I'm
Sharon
supposed
Carter?
to like her character? Because I'm not gonna like her character.
How'd y'all feel about Sharon being a power broker?
I saw that coming.
yeah.
I was sideswiped. That shit caught me out of left field. I said, "What, bitch?" I said, "Oh, I don't like you no more." I didn't see it coming. That went like over my head completely. Like I don't know how it like bypassed me, but that went totally over my head.
Nah,
How do
cool
you
though.
feel about
I
it?
like
I
it.
Do y'all
can't
think
wait.
it's like, is it a good story arc? Do y'all like that story?
I don't
It's
know.
a good move. I was confused though. I ain't gonna front when they were, Paul. When I was saying like letting Karina know about like the shield, like how you got arrested for a shield that doesn't belong to America. So, but
Wakanda
hey,
shield?
listen, if she feels a way about America right now, if she feels a way about America right now, I'm with it. You know what? If that's a great plot to go through, let's make it happen. I
It
want to
doesn't
see. I
seem like
want to see what
she's
else
mad at just
comes out of her
America.
being the power broker.
But that's what I'm saying. Her becoming the power broker or being the power broker just doesn't make any sense. Because I don't know who she's mad at or what her, it just came from out of nowhere. Like, hey, I'm the power broker. I've been doing stuff. Okay.
Well, for me,
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
because she. I mean, because me and you talked about a little bit. I remember I was saying that I think that Sharon's going to be the power broker or is the power broker, but then we was talking about like the phone, so it's kind of a little like a little a lot of a lot of like side talk. So maybe she was gonna be. So when I saw she was, I'm like, all right, she had a full partner from America or whatever. Like she was still gonna do like her super serum, super soldier serum project, but then now that she has access back into America, back into her old station, and she has access, to other secrets and so forth. It sounds like it for whatever was going to go on later on, because you never got a good intro to really who Madam Hydra is. So like like you got her full name, unless you actually knew who the character was, you're really not going to know who she is. So it could be a time between those two people going forward. You never know.
But that's a
it just sounds like she's trying to sell out. She's trying to sell out the country that
when the show ends and that doesn't happen, that's a mark against the show, because we don't know what, like that's non-existent. So if there is a connection between them two, the show didn't give it.
Know it.
Yeah, the show.
The reason Sharon was like that because of what happened at the end of Civil War when she stole Cap's gear and Falcon's gear that put on the wrong side of Shield or whatever CIA she was working for. So she was being hunted by them. That's why she fled to Maripor.
But Zemo said he did business with the power broker before.
Right, never directly though. Never directly.
So she's been the power broker before that, though. She's been the power broker then, apparently. So again, it wasn't because she was blackballed for taking the shield and stuff.
Well, we don't know if she took over for the previous power broker or she just took the hand.
We don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Her becoming or being, it's still up in the air. It's still a kind of a plot hole because it's still left to like, why? What?
My biggest takeaway from her as a power broker is that might not even be Sharon Carter.
Who do you think it is?
But if she's a scroll, why would she use the face thing?
Right.
That's technology. That was tech.
Yeah. Right. So why use that if you can do it yourself?
Because she's still got to be Sharon Carter underneath.
Nah, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but okay.
It could be. I don't like it.
It could be. I can't dismiss it, but
yeah, I think they gotta. Well, we got Secret Invasion coming.
It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
But
it would have hit better if they revealed that she's a scroll at the end. if she walked away and then turned, we'd have been like, oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
still hanging, and we don't know if we're getting a sequel, if we're gonna get another movie. They announced Captain America 4.
Well, we might see her. Yeah, we might see her again. Most likely, I'm
Secret
thinking she might
Invasion
show
is
her face.
coming, but the fact that
Secret Invasion.
so much going on in the universe, that's minor. We don't care really that much for it to be like, oh shit, it's minor. You know what I'm saying? So I think,
which is good because I think some of the small, minute stuff that Marvel does comes back later on. You know, like Zemo played a big role in Civil War, and then he went away, and now he's back now again. So I think they're gonna. She's a placeholder. She's a placeholder for a villain down the road that when we need to pull one out and it has a big impact. There we go.
I think it was a waste of the mid-credit scene. I think most mid-credit scenes usually focus on bigger characters, so she would need to be bigger later on. And
on that tip, remember COVID did impact them.
Yeah.
Not just production-wise. Black Widow was supposed to come out before this.
Right.
Rumor the original mid-credit scene was supposed to be Yelena. Black Widow Christmas. That's when we were supposed to see in the mid-credit scene. But since Black Widow hasn't came out yet, they had to scrap that. Rumor was it was supposed to be Yelena and Cap in the mid-credit scene. But because of COVID and Black Widow not coming out, they had to scrap it and go this route with the
Sam or Steve?
Steve.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still not invested in the whole power broker thing. That was a little lackluster. For the most part, I like the show though. Like I said, I like the show. Just a few things that I thought they dumped the ball on, and COVID was probably a big part of that. And we need Black Widow now because they pushed it back
too many times.
Yeah, but I'm definitely going to see that in theaters because we need that right away. And then Loki's coming up first, so we get Loki in June.
Cannot wait.
I know we're all looking forward to that. And
the trailer looked really good for Loki, so I'm excited for that.
And I mean, like Michelle has said, I was worried about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but after WandaVision, thinking, man, can they really? And they kind of kept it up there. The bars
they did it high expect. Yeah, the bars were high.
So now
it did meet up.
Yeah.
But again, it met up on a different level, so because it was more. It was more relatable to
keep that momentum going. So every milestone, he's like, all right, do it again, Marvel, do it again. And so far they've been doing it, but now the pressure's on Loki. You know what I'm saying? And